Yehuda ben Ezra did not know Jesus of Nazareth. By the time the stories reached him, the man at their center had already been executed, and Jerusalem had begun the quiet work of forgetting or pretending to. The city was practiced in survival. Names faded quickly unless someone insisted on repeating them. Yehuda arrived weeks later, carrying a satchel, several wax tablets, and a narrow roll of papyrus wrapped in cloth. Papyrus was costly and fragile. He used it sparingly, reserving it for words he believed deserved to last beyond memory. His instruction, passed quietly through intermediaries, was simple. Write down what was said, not what was believed, not what was proclaimed, only what had been heard. Those who spoke to Yehuda did so cautiously. Fishermen measured their words like nets. Women lowered their voices indoors. Travelers admitted they had only listened from the edges of crowds. None claimed authority. Some refused to give names. They did not agree on much. He first marked their words into wax, the stylus moving quickly, knowing the surface would forgive mistakes. Memory, he understood, often corrected itself only after being spoken aloud. Days later, sometimes longer, he decided which accounts merited transfer onto papyrus. Some described Jesus as a teacher who asked questions that no one could answer, questions about the law, about kindness, about what people owed each other. He asked me, one fisherman said, why we count coins more carefully than prayers. Others spoke of crowds gathering around him, drawn by something they could not name. He said words I do not forget, a merchant told Yehuda, though I could not explain them. A widow said she saw him stop to bless children and the elderly, moving among people as if each mattered, yet no one could claim they truly understood him. When Yehuda asked about signs and wonders, the stories fractured further. One man described a healing but admitted he had never seen the affliction begin. A woman remembered only the press of bodies and the sudden stillness that followed. Several said they had followed simply because others had stopped walking, curious or compelled by rumor. What unsettled Yehuda most was how often the stories ended unfinished. No one could explain why they had followed him. They spoke instead of something shifting, inside themselves, in their households, in how they regarded strangers afterward. When pressed for clarity, their words failed them. Yehuda copied the contradictions carefully onto papyrus, resisting the temptation to reconcile them. Where voices faltered, he noted it. Where silence replaced certainty, he left space on the page. Some accounts were openly skeptical. A merchant dismissed Jesus as another teacher passing through, skilled with words but careless with consequence. A former student of the law said the man asked too many questions and answered too few. And yet, even among those unconvinced, his name lingered longer than expected. At night, alone, Yehuda reread what he had preserved. The papyrus crackled softly as it unrolled beneath his fingers. He did not attempt to judge the accounts. His role was not to decide truth, only to protect testimony from being flattened by time. If truth existed, Yehuda believed it would survive disagreement. What endured, he suspected, was not certainty, but the insistence on telling the story again, even when it could not be finished. When Yehuda ben Ezra had completed his writing, he did not circulate it. He did not argue for it. He rolled the papyrus carefully, sealed it within a clay jar, and marked nothing upon it that would invite attention. The jar remained undisturbed for centuries. Before leaving the room, he whispered to himself, "It is up to individuals to believe what they choose. I only record what was witnessed, what was spoken, and what was remembered." In 1905, it was found. Chapter 2, The Jar Beneath the Stone Doctor. Talia Stern had learned to distrust moments of excitement. Archaeology rewarded patience, not anticipation. Most days yielded nothing more than dust, broken pottery, and the quiet confirmation that history rarely revealed itself all at once. The excavation site lay just beyond the older southern wall, dismissed decades earlier as unremarkable. The soil was dense, layered with centuries of interruption. It was the kind of place where expectations remained low and where surprises occasionally survived. It was one of the graduate students who noticed the anomaly. A hollow sound beneath a slab that should have been solid, The stone was lifted carefully, its underside marked by age rather than damage. Beneath it, packed into a narrow cavity, rested a plain clay jar, sealed and intact. "That's unusual," Miriam said, brushing soil from the surface. "Very," Talia replied. "No markings, no inscriptions. Careful now." They did not open it at the sight. That decision preserved context, a lesson Talia had learned many times over. In the museum's conservation room, under controlled light, the jar was finally unsealed. Inside lay a tightly rolled fragment of papyrus, brittle but intact, wrapped in cloth that had long since surrendered its color. "No ink bleed," David, another archaeologist, observed. "Remarkable preservation." They unrolled it carefully. Greek. Functional. Unadorned. "It keeps saying, 'It was said,'" they recalled. Some remembered. David read aloud. "Nothing claimed," Miriam added. "No eye saw, no eye followed." Talia leaned closer. "It's observational. Secondary. Not written by anyone at the center. So not apostolic," David concluded. "No," Talia said. "This person listened, not led." The genealogist, who had joined the team for consultation, nodded. "The handwriting, the phrasing, it matches no known apostolic style. The author shows discipline, not authority." "Then who wrote it?" Miriam asked. "Someone careful," Talia said. "Someone who wanted memory preserved without judgment." Later, Talia dictated her report. The document appears to be a compilation of second-hand accounts concerning Jesus of Nazareth. The author does not claim association with Jesus, his disciples, or any inner circle. The purpose is archival, not theological. Its value lies not in revelation, but in restraint. Chapter 3. What Remains? The museum was empty when Talia returned that evening. Night had settled over Jerusalem, the city breathing softly beyond the walls. The jar sat alone, unassuming, fragile. The genealogist joined her. "They're already asking questions," he said quietly. "The kind that assumes answers." "They always do," Talia replied. "History rarely offers them." He studied the jar. "You know what they want it to be." "Yes," she said. "And I know what it isn't." He glanced at her. "I traced the handwriting, not the person, the habit." "And?" she prompted. "It matches no known apostolic style," he said. "No school, no lineage of authority. This is the work of someone trained to listen, not lead." Talia nodded. "Someone who didn't trust memory, someone who didn't seek recognition." He smiled faintly. "A dangerous impulse." "Yes," Talia said. "And a human one." They stood in silence, looking at the jar. Outside, Jerusalem glowed with the weight of centuries, faithful, skeptical, unresolved. Talia whispered, almost to herself, "Someone heard these stories. Not to prove them, not to own them, only to keep them from disappearing." The genealogist nodded. "It survived because someone cared." "Yes," she said. "That's all it needed to do." The jar remained, witness to the act of listening itself. Not as proof, not as challenge, simply as preservation. And in that quiet truth, the story had already fulfilled its purpose. Writer's note, authors afterword. This story is entirely fictional. Yehuda ben Ezra, the papyrus, and the archaeological events are imagined. The accounts recorded on the papyrus were inspired by memories and stories preserved in the Bible, and historical practices, like oral testimony, wax tablets, and papyrus preservation, are accurately depicted. This story does not claim to reveal new truths about Jesus, the apostles, or any faith tradition. It focuses on memory, preservation, and the human act of listening. Stories survive because someone believed they were worth remembering. This tale honors that simple act. Jose A. Martinez.